What if Chrysler brought back one of America's most recognizable sedans with a completely modern attitude? Welcome back to Drive Dynasty, where today we're taking a closer look at the 2027 Chrysler 300C. This is a car that has always stood somewhere between a luxury sedan and a muscle car, and if Chrysler can bring that formula into a new generation, the 300C could become one of the most interesting American sedans to watch. Before we get into the details, let's make one thing clear. The exact production specifications of a 2027 Chrysler 300C should not be treated as officially confirmed unless Chrysler announces them. So instead of throwing fake horsepower numbers at you, we're going to focus on the design, expected character, technology, performance philosophy, and what could make this car special if the legendary 300C name returns. Starting with the front, the 2027 Chrysler 300C needs to make an immediate impression. The Chrysler 300 has always been known for its wide stance, bold grille, long hood, and confident face, and a modern version should preserve that unmistakable identity while adding sharper lighting and cleaner aerodynamic details. It shouldn't look like another generic sedan wearing a Chrysler badge. It needs to arrive with the same presence that made the original 300 such an instantly recognizable American car. The headlights could become one of the biggest design features, especially with modern LED technology, giving the front end a more aggressive nighttime signature. A wide grille combined with a sculpted hood could make the car look larger and more expensive, while a lower front fascia could add a sporty touch without destroying the luxury sedan character. Compared with something like the Dodge Charger, the 300C should feel less like a pure muscle car and more like a powerful executive sedan that happens to have serious performance underneath. Move around to the side, and this is where the proportions of the 300C really start to work. A long hood, spacious cabin, strong shoulder line, large wheels, and a planted stance could give the car the kind of profile that looks expensive even before you know what's under the hood. The design should remain muscular, but it also needs to stay clean because the 300C has always been at its best when it looks powerful without becoming overly complicated. From the rear, the goal should be the same: wide, confident, and unmistakably Chrysler. A full-width or distinctive LED lighting signature could give the rear a modern appearance, while a sculpted bumper and performance-inspired details could remind you that this isn't just a comfortable family sedan. The rear design also needs to separate the 300C from the Charger, because the two cars may share some performance DNA, but they should appeal to completely different types of drivers. Now let's step inside, because exterior design might get you interested, but the interior is where you actually live with the car. The 2027 300C should offer a modern dashboard with a large infotainment display, a digital instrument cluster, premium materials, comfortable seats, wireless smartphone connectivity, and a layout that feels upscale without becoming unnecessarily complicated. The cabin should be quiet, spacious, and designed for long-distance driving, because that has always been one of the strongest reasons to choose a large American sedan. The seats are especially important in a car like this. You could have a powerful engine and an amazing exterior, but if the interior isn't comfortable after 2 or 3 hours on the highway, the experience quickly loses its appeal. The 300C should feel like a car built for road trips, daily commuting, business travel, and those long nighttime drives where you simply want to relax behind the wheel. Technology will also play a huge role in making the new 300C feel modern. Buyers in 2027 will expect a responsive infotainment system, smartphone integration, high-quality audio, wireless charging, navigation, digital displays, and a strong collection of driver assistance systems. The trick will be making all of that technology easy to use, because the best modern interiors don't make you fight with the screen just to change a setting or access a basic function. But now we reach the section that makes the 300C name special: performance. Historically, the 300C became famous for combining the comfort of a large sedan with the attitude and straight-line power of an American muscle car. That means any future 300C has a serious expectation to live up to, and Chrysler would need to make sure the driving experience still feels special, rather than simply turning the 300C into another ordinary luxury sedan. At this point, exact 2027 engine and horsepower figures should be treated as unconfirmed unless officially released by Chrysler. What we can say is that the 300C's performance character should focus on effortless acceleration, strong highway cruising, confident handling, and a satisfying connection between the driver and the car. Whether that personality comes from a traditional combustion engine, electrification, or a combination of technologies, the important thing is that the 300C still needs to feel like a 300C. And this is where the comparison with the Dodge Charger becomes really interesting. The Charger has always carried a much stronger muscle car identity, with aggressive styling and a performance-first personality that attracts drivers who want their car to feel dramatic. The Chrysler 300C has a different mission. It should give you performance while surrounding you with more comfort and sophistication, making it the choice for someone who wants power, but doesn't necessarily want to advertise it everywhere they go. Think of the Charger as the athlete who walks into the room wearing racing gear, while the 300C is the same athlete arriving in a perfectly tailored suit. Both can be powerful, both can be exciting. Farrant. If you want an aggressive performance machine, the Charger may be the obvious choice, but if you want something that can look professional during the day and intimidating at night, the 300C could have the advantage. The driving experience should also be one of the biggest selling points. Imagine getting onto the highway, settling into the comfortable driver's seat, turning up your favorite music, and letting the car smoothly eat up the miles. That effortless cruising ability is something large American sedans have traditionally done extremely well. And it would be a shame if a future 300C forgot that part of its personality in an attempt to become a pure sports sedan. At the same time, the 300C shouldn't feel like a soft luxury boat with no excitement. The steering, suspension, brakes, and chassis should work together to give the driver confidence when the road gets interesting. You want the car to be comfortable when you're commuting, but you also want to feel that extra energy when you find an open stretch of road and decide to push it a little harder. Another important factor is the visual presence. The automotive world is moving toward more aerodynamic, technology-focused designs, and many new vehicles are starting to share similar shapes. That gives a revived Chrysler 300C an opportunity to stand out by keeping its American character while introducing modern details. Because sometimes being different is more valuable than simply trying to follow every design trend. There's also an emotional side to this car. People don't remember every sedan they have ever driven, but they remember cars that had personality, and the Chrysler 300 has always had plenty of it. The bold shape, spacious cabin, available performance, and unmistakable American identity helped turn the 300 into something more than just transportation. So could a 2027 Chrysler 300C really compete in a market dominated by SUVs, electric vehicles, and increasingly high-tech sedans? That's the big question. If Chrysler can combine the 300C's classic attitude with modern technology, excellent comfort, strong safety features, and genuinely exciting performance, there could still be a place for this nameplate. The biggest challenge will be